The first thing I noticed wasn't the silence in our new house, but the temperature. The air around the full-length mirror in the basement was always 10 degrees colder. Michael said it was a draft. Michael, my husband, charming, meticulous, with a smile that never quite reached his eyes. He had no photographs of his past. He said he hated the way he looked in them. He avoided reflective shop windows, calling them distorting. I thought it was endearing, a charming quirk of a brilliant, sensitive man. I was the only one who never questioned it, the only one who believed his carefully constructed normalcy. That's why he chose me. The night of the correction, as he later called it, began with a power outage. He led me to the basement with a candle, saying the fuse box was down there. The flame guttered in the subterranean chill. "Stand here, love," he said, his voice smooth as oil. He positioned me before the antique mirror. Its silvering was speckled with age like mold on glass. "Keep the light steady." He stood behind me, a silhouette in the dancing gloom. His hands settled on my shoulders. They weren't cold. They were absent of temperature altogether. "Do you know what a mirror truly is?" he murmured, his breath not stirring the hair by my ear. "It's not a reflector. It's a capacitor. It stores light, image, essence." I tried to laugh, but the sound died in my throat. My reflection held the candle, its flame steady, while mine shuddered. I blinked. My reflection blinked, a slow, deliberate beat after I did. A jagged crack of ice shot down my spine. "Michael, shh." His grip tightened, not painfully, but implacably, like stone settling. The others fought. Clarissa saw her drowned mother in the glass. Eleanor saw the sister she'd lost. They screamed. They broke the narrative. My heart was a frantic bird against my ribs. I tried to pull away, but my body was locked, mesmerized by the lagging thing in the mirror. "But you," he whispered, a hint of perverse pride in his tone. "You only ever see yourself. You trust the image completely. You are perfectly compatible." He lifted a hand and pressed his palm flat against the mirror's surface. Instead of the cold glass I expected, a low, viscous thrum resonated through the room. The surface shimmered, not reflecting but rippling like dark water. "Why?" I choked out, tears of sheer terror blurring the awful sight. "Because you believed I was normal," he said, as if stating a simple fact. "And for what comes next, that's all that matters." The reflection in the mirror. My reflection did something then. It smiled, the smile I had never worn, empty and placid. Then it raised its own hand and pressed it against the glass from the inside. A searing cold, sharper than any pain, shot from my palm up my arm. It was a pulling, a sucking sensation deep in the marrow of my soul. I felt memories detaching, my mother's voice, the smell of rain on childhood asphalt, my own name. They were threads being deftly pulled from a tapestry and drawn through my skin into the glass. I didn't collapse. I was poured. My consciousness slipped from my body like water from a shattered vase, drawn across the threshold of the mirror. The world didn't go black, it inverted. I was suddenly inside the cold, looking out. Through the glass, I saw my body, empty, doll-like, sway for a moment. Then Michael caught it. He laid it gently on the floor. From the shadows of the basement, another figure emerged. Me. She had my sleep shirt, my tousled hair, the small scar from a childhood fall above my eyebrow, but her eyes were serene, vacant pools. She looked at Michael and smiled my smile, but perfectly, obediently. He cupped her cheek. "The only rule, my love," he said, his voice dripping with a tenderness he'd never shown me. "Never ever open the basement door after midnight. The draft is terrible." "Of course, Michael," she said in my voice, a flawless recording. He blew out the candle. In the sudden darkness from my prison, I screamed. I slammed my fists against the immutable glass. It made no sound in their world. To them, it was just a dark, silent mirror. The days bled into a gray haze. I watched. I witnessed the parody of my life. She made my coffee, laughed at his jokes with perfect timing, wore my favorite perfume. She was an upgrade, a correction, a version of me with all the doubt, the curiosity, the self neatly excised. Then, One night, she came downstairs alone. She walked directly to the mirror and stared, unblinking, right at where I was pressed against the barrier of my world. Her placid face shifted, not into empathy, but into a cold, transactional awareness. "Don't be afraid," she said, my voice now a foreign instrument. "The download is painful the first time. The next transfer will be smoother. He's perfected the process." She reached out and touched the glass. On my side, it felt like a shock of static. "We all wait our turn," she said. Then she turned and left, plunging me into the absolute dark of the basement. That's when I saw them. As my prison-adjusted eyes strained, other shapes coalesced in the depths around me, not just in my mirror but in faint, overlapping planes of glass I hadn't perceived before. A woman with Clarissa's wide, terrified eyes, forever screaming silently. Eleanor forever reaching for a phantom sister, dozens of them, scores, all suspended, watching their replacements live their stolen lives. He doesn't kill his wives, he doesn't just imprison them, he collects them, he iterates. And the basement isn't a dungeon, it's a catalog, a silent, screaming archive of every version that came before. And me, I'm not a person anymore, I'm version 17. An entry in his collection, and I wait here in the cold, silent dark with all the others for only one thing, for the new wife, version 18, to finally grow curious, to disobey the one rule, and to open the basement door at midnight. We will be waiting to welcome her.